Anytime a deal comes to us under $100,000, instead of us looking at the deal, us looking to fund the deal, we are shooting it out to our certified land investors who have gone through a vetting process with us.
I get this question asked all the time for someone that wants to start funding deals like, oh, you guys are just taking everything. This pretty much eliminates that. Now it's just competition with other investors as well. So it just really opens up the marketplace.
We're starting off with 15 people in there, qualified, have a nice buy box, experienced. And that's why we're not opening it up to people outside LIO, because then they're not LIO certified. The thing with this is you can trust it. We know the people, we know what's going on. It's just trusted on both sides. The managers are trusted, the investors are trusted. It's a community now, and I think it just really solidifies. Hey everyone, welcome back to the Real Estate Investing Podcast. Today's topic, we're talking about funding deals through LIO. And what I mean by funding deals is actually acting as the investor, funding other deal managers' deals in the community. I'm your host, Ron Apke. Today I'm joined with Anthony and my brother, Ron. Welcome to the show, guys.
Yeah, happy to be here. Happy to talk about this. It's a brand new program, I guess you could say, that we're releasing to help really both sides, to help managers, to help investors. And I'm excited to see where this goes. I think it's going to be huge for the future and for just getting more having more deals happen.
100%. It opens up the whole side, a whole nother side to the to our community. And people were doing it on the side for sure, of course. And people have relationships, and we're funding other people's deals as well. But now we have an actual process for it that we can really funnel people in. And I'm excited to get to this topic. I think it's providing so much value to the managers and investors in the group.
Yeah, absolutely. And when we announced this last night, I mean, nothing but positive results. So really excited to get into this topic.
What were your initial thoughts, Ant? Because I don't know if last night, I know I talked to you about it a little bit, but like, what were your initial thoughts with it? Like, because you run our deal funding program where we're getting all these deals and funding them. That's going to change completely.
So when you guys first told me about it, I was like, I absolutely love it, because there's times where it's a good deal, but we have so many deal funding requests that come in and day out. So we kind of, have to be selective in terms of what we're choosing. And when we say no to something, I think a manager's perspective, like, oh, this isn't going to work now. They said no, and they go to another investor and they hear that we say no, that they may not want to go to it. So it really opens up like a free market, and it just gives more opportunity. So when you guys first told me this, I was like, this is fantastic.
Yeah. Take a step back and explain what it is real quick.
Yeah, so what we're doing, so essentially every month we get anywhere from 40 to 80 deal funding requests through our website. We have a lot of people who follow us, all this stuff. They get deals and they submit them. What we're doing is getting a group of certified investors, Land Investing Online certified investors. Anytime a deal comes to us under $100,000, instead of us looking at the deal, us looking to fund the deal, we are shooting it out to our certified land investors who have gone through a vetting process with us. They have a small fee on their side, no extra fee for the managers. It's only going to be open to our Land Investing Online members. But what this is going to do is essentially any deal that's coming through to us is being shot out to what Ant said, a free market of investors essentially that are vetted, who have done deals, who have experience, and then they're going to take on the deals. They're going to negotiate with rates, all that different stuff, and take on the deals with the managers.
Yeah, so essentially it's just we're going to have a large network of investors waiting for the deals. We have the biggest land investing community out there, and we have tons of deals coming through, and it's going to shoot straight over to the investors. The investors are going to cherry pick, have their own buy box. It's free competition. We're not going to be monitoring what rates are going out or what people are doing. We're going to monitor the experience and how many deals are getting funded, and if the managers are happy, which we know they are, because the competition is going to drive the happiness for the managers, and it's also having a free market for the investors. You're going to make hundreds and if not millions of dollars on that side as well. So it's really just opening things up. I was so shocked with how positive everyone was about it. I mean, people loved it. So now, we say how many deals we have coming to us every month, but we could easily triple that now that it's a free market. It's only going to increase from there when they know, hey, I just need one spot to submit. Our education saying submit it here. It's going to a group. Everything's around this one spot. It's a one-stop shop.
Yeah. And looking at it from a manager's perspective, and this is what I love about it so much, is from before we had this set up, you'd have to go to Discord, you have to go to the deal funding channel and just kind of scroll like who's responding to these deal funding requests. Now you just submit, instead of having to submit it to us, submit and DM a bunch of people, you just submit it to one spot. You have access to over 50, 15 investors starting off, like vetted investors. They understand land. They've spoken to us directly. We know how much capital that they can invest in. It just makes it so much easier from a manager standpoint.
Yeah, and it's cool because we're going to monitor the competition in there, so it's not overly competitive for the investor side, but still good amount, so they're
Yeah.
getting good rates. And that way we're capping it. We're starting off with 15 people in there, qualified, have a nice buy box,
Yeah.
experienced. And that's why we're not opening it up to people outside LIO, because then they're not LIO certified. The thing with this is you can trust it. We know the people, we know what's going on. It's members only. They've been through the program. It's just trusted on both sides. The managers are trusted, the investors are trusted. It's a community now, and I think it just really solidifies. And it gives people the ability to come in who were managing the deals and they were finding the deals and they want to move. It's a streamlined process now. Instead of being like, yeah, go fund deals, go find them. It's like, oh, now we have a path for you if you want to go to that next level. You have money, which I want to get into next or at some point, is you have money, you have the knowledge. Now let's put your money to work and we can talk about what that looks like.
For sure. I want to kind of talk about, like, from a manager's perspective, is what's the negative side of this, if anything, that you guys can think of? Is there anything that's going to, I don't want to say turn managers off, but anything that's going to make it more difficult on them?
Yeah, that's a good question. I don't think anything top of mind. I feel like that makes it so much easier for a manager's
Decisions.
perspective.
I mean, they need to make a decision on
Yeah.
if there's multiple people bidding on one job,
Yeah.
essentially.
That's a good sign.
That's a good
I'd want to
problem
be
to
in that
have.
problem. Yeah.
That is a really good problem to have.
We're going to build education around this too. My one thing is, like, someone doing their first deal. I think it could be a little overwhelming.
Why?
Just with submitting it, like you said, like making a decision. You get 12 responses.
They're
8
not going to get 12
responses.
responses.
But I'm just
they're
saying,
not going to get 8 either.
Whatever they get, Dan. Like, if the deal's good enough, a lot of people are going to want the deal. And that's the one thing is, like, from a manager, from a new person, not an experienced person. Like, the experienced person's going to want the cheapest or want the best investor with the best rates or whatever it is. But yeah, that's my only thought. I think.
But that's more of a negative for the investor, the competition.
But I'm saying the overwhelming aspect of making that decision. You submit a deal to us, we're funding that. We tell them, like, it's 1-to-1. It's 1-to-1. It's 1-to-8, and whatever it is, 1-to-4. And then they have to make a decision. I think building our education around this is the key. Letting managers know the value in this, then letting managers know how to deal with the responses, who to choose. Kind of like choosing a realtor. Like a realtor, we don't always take the realtor that's at 6%. Sometimes the realtor at 10% makes a lot more sense. So it's the same thing. It's vetting different things for sure.
Yeah, but this is instead of having to go on Zillow and calling all these different realtors and compiling your own list, it's all there for you.
For sure.
So I think I understand that's a con. Maybe it's a little overwhelming with that. Yes.
But that's the problem you'd want to have. Like, I wouldn't want to be in a situation to where you have a good deal and there's not, like, you can't find a funder, right? Like, I'd rather be overwhelmed with the responses. Like, that's what you want.
And we're going to monitor the community in terms of the responses as well. Like, if at first the investors are going to have too many deals, they're going to know what to do with. But eventually we got to build it up so it's nice and stable on both sides. Investors are getting deals when they want deals, essentially. And, you're still going to have to work as an investor. You're going to have to bid. Like, it's not going to be, at first it will be, but eventually there's going to be competition and you're going to have a good business and build good relationships with the people, essentially. But I really don't see many cons from the manager side. Investor side, you can talk about all the cons. We can get into that if you want. From the investor side, what's the con of joining this? There's going to be competition, but you're going to have a lot more opportunities. Competition, ton more opportunities, and there's an upfront cost. But then you're LIO certified. You're working with me, Ron, Anthony, and it's like that's where the whole funnel and the whole system's going to go.
Yeah, it's going to work at scale for sure. I know it's going to cost us money, like not doing deals, obviously, not doing those size deals. What we want to focus on is bigger deals. But yeah, getting new members, I think, new people, a quick access to 10, 15 investors. Like you said, maybe 3, 4, 5 respond, whatever it is, but getting them quick access. Some investors might be interested in buy for 50, sell for 75 at a certain rate. So less deals have to go to the garbage. I want fewer deals going to the garbage that have margin in them.
Yeah. Absolutely. And from an investor standpoint too, and I get this question asked all the time for someone that wants to start funding deals like, oh, you guys are just taking everything. This pretty much eliminates that. Now it's just competition with other investors as well. So it just really opens up the marketplace.
I think the reason we did this isn't from a financial perspective. Like, whatever, we're charging a little bit. We can make a little bit of money for sure, but we're losing all of these deals. Like, it doesn't make sense. But what does it do? It's a better community. Like, that's really what it is, period. It's going to be better for the managers. It's going to be better for investors. Who are investors? Investors are past or current managers. So it's a streamline, it's a transition, it's a system. So you come in with barely anything, right? Come in with $5,000 to your name. Anthony's coaching you up. You're getting a ton of deals out there. You start building up some capital. You have 50 grand all of a sudden. Now you have 100 grand. It's like, oh, I only have 2 deals for 30 grand. I have 70 grand I'm sitting on. Maybe I can put that to work. You know what I mean? It's sitting there. You have the knowledge now. You know what you're doing. Anthony coached you up, and you have the capital now. How can we put that to work besides going and getting our own deals? Is through investing. And now it's a streamlined process. Okay, we come in with nothing. We become a deal manager. We're getting all the deals. And then you can become an investor and you can start funding them and putting that knowledge to work. That's why I loved it, is because that transition's so clear now.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's much more accessible. Everything feels more accessible for managers. I think it's a selling point to our paid program as a whole. Like if you're comparing Land Investing Online to whatever it is, like you have access to a free marketplace of investors. I think that is a powerful, powerful thing as you start getting deals and you can scale up. Like you don't have to think like we were getting the inputs from the interested investors, and like it's people 100 to 500K, 500K plus. Like there's a ton. You add it all up, there are millions and millions of dollars available.
Ideally, we want like 20 million, I think.
That's what I mean. Yeah. So people have like they can work together to whatever it is. But that the free marketplace aspect of it, where we do have some control in terms of just making sure that they're qualified to be investors, I think, qualified to see these deals coming through. That's really the only thing we're playing in this, along with building the community around it.
Yeah, and what qualifies someone?
Having money, I think having done a deal or two in the past for sure. I think those are the biggest thing. There needs to be a trust aspect from us, I think, because the access they're going to have to some of this. But other than that, like that's really all I want. I want people who have been engaged in the community, because there's so much value to the investors, and we have so much interest in this program. Like we can kind of not handpick, I don't want to say, but we can pick a good 12, 15 who are going to take care of the managers. That's what I want.
Yeah, but that being said, almost everyone who did submit it is qualified on paper. I knew everyone.
Yeah. No, they are 100%. So that's what I mean. See who's interested, see who sees the value in the program. And I think we're getting 40 to 80 deals right now. We advertise as it's a free market. Like we're going to get 100 to 200 deals, I think,
Easy.
very, very fast.
Easy.
So then you can expand on your investor pool, change different strategies for what investors are seeing and it can grow from there. I think just very basic, you send the deals to all the investors and then you can build it out from there.
Yeah. And now it's going to be only members who can submit a deal, right?
Correct.
Yep.
Is that ever going to change?
It can, but I don't know. I like investors with it being this way, investors understand the education that someone's had.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a
So
good
like,
point.
just like
That's the main
they're Land Investing Online certified, these managers are Land Investing Online members. So they understand the education that they've gotten. The investor can be like, have you watched whatever it is, like point them towards a marketing module if it's something or something like that. I think there's a ton of value in that.
And we're not sharing data with anyone either. We had a couple questions on, are we going to give the history report of this person? No, like that's your job to ask them in your application when you're sending them an application or a Google form or something to fill out, or just on the phone with them, whatever it is. That's their job to do. I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, Joe Smith bought and sold 3 properties for us last year and doubled his money on all of them. We're not sharing that. This is a free market. It's just like we're just going to let it play out like that.
I think that's the best way to do it. Like these people are all highly vetted as far as the investors, and then like getting contracts. We had a question about contracts, giving contracts, like getting in between that stuff. If you're
an
experienced investor,
we can provide education on that.
100%.
Absolutely. And there is education on that, I believe.
Yeah.
Do we have a deal fund? We have those contracts, don't
Yeah,
we?
we have deal funding.
Yeah, in the resources, we have that.
Got it. Okay. So yeah, we're going to provide you all that stuff, but it's your job to create your business and your CRM. Like we'll have education around it, but at the same time, this is your business.
Yeah,
The value for the managers is the free marketplace. The value for the investors is opportunity. Like other than that, like if you're looking for other value, you don't really see the amount of opportunity there is.
Yeah.
If you're looking for other value in contracts and all these things, learn how to do some deals and then you can come join.
I mean, we have so many qualified deals coming every day.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah,
like that
it really is.
Like the price that we're putting on this compared to the one deal, you're going to 10x your return from one, more than that from one deal. You know what I mean?
Like Dan said, financially, this isn't a good thing for us. Like you said, like financially, this. I mean, maybe if you
But for the
expand
community,
out like 100%,
if you
this is
look
a
at the
community
vision.
building
Huge for the
thing.
community.
This is give managers, like I want managers to be successful. This is what this is. And then it gives us the opportunity to focus on really big deals, taking down million, 7-figure deals, 8-figure deals, all
Yeah.
that different stuff. And I think that's how we'll.
The vision of it is how you grow, is how we're going to grow the
Yeah.
community essentially. But financially, like this is not, we're not going to see a return on this period.
Yeah, I mean, it's not. I mean, we do make a ton of money from funding people's deals.
Yeah.
Funding these deals that are going to
Yeah.
be shot out without any vetting. Like those deals that come through us, they're managers submitting deals. They claim to have purchase agreements, and then they're getting shot out to the field of investors.
Yeah. And then what we're doing is going out. This puts more of a narrow scope on what we're looking for now. So instead of going and saying, hey, this is our buy box from $5,000 to 500 to a million or whatever, that's a large box when you look at a box. So now we're all of a sudden we can say, okay, we want $100,000 deals to X and we want improvement plays. And it just narrows it down, puts the focus on it. And I think we'll make a lot more money at the end of the day too.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and this is what we want to encourage the community as well too, especially if you've gotten a few deals under your belt, you're doing well. The next step is really going after those big deals too, and being able to put the time and energy with those and having other investors work with managers. I mean, it's just I feel like it's a win-win for everybody, because if you look at the marketplace as a whole, that stuff is so siloed, I feel like, and being able to just streamline that, have it all in one place. I mean, the feedback has been great, and it's only been a day.
This has been really good.
I think at the end of the day, like we have the best land investing community.
Yeah.
We have the best investors and managers. Like, how do we connect them better? And that's what this all is about. Like, there's so many deals being done. And I know one of the things that hurts, like, is I know there's deals that aren't being done that could be done. And I think this is going to, like, it just streamlines it. Like, they're going to get responses. Like, if you have a competitive nature, a manager might get a response from an investor in 20 minutes. Like, that's going to be a very normal turnaround time. That's going to give the manager the ability to lock it up, get it to title, close faster, and make more money. And that's what I'm really, really excited to see is like, all right, what does this actually look like from the investor? If I'm an investor in that poll, like I'm gonna have my notifications on. I'm gonna review deals fast. I'm gonna build relationships with these people. I'm gonna sell myself. Even I wouldn't have the best rates, the cheapest rates, but selling yourself, I think, how many deals, all these different things, I think is where the value is.
100%. Anything else to add, guys?
No, very well said. I'm excited for it.
Yeah, me too.
Absolutely, guys. Well, as always, if you guys are watching on YouTube, make sure to hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and follow our channel. Other than that, thank you for joining. We'll see you guys next episode.
Thanks, guys.
As always, thank you for joining. Please do us a huge favor and like and subscribe our YouTube channel and share this with a friend. It really means the world to Ron and I, but more importantly, it could help change the life of someone else. Thanks for joining, and we'll see you next episode.